If you're a coach or wanna be one, you're definitely looking for a way to master yourself. As we all know, there is always a room for your improvement, whoever you are. So today you will get a key how to master yourself. And I would like to remind you that this interview is one of the informative ways to help you monetize your expertise online. Introwise is all about inspiration, tech, and business. And it takes you only 3 minutes to register on Introwise and for free. Hi, my name is Daria and welcome to Introwise. And today's guest is Luba. She is a certified executive and team coach. She works with individuals, small business managers. Luba has her own company, Upthink Coaching. So welcome to Introwise interview, Luba.
Hi Daria, I'm excited to be here.
So we would like to start from the mastering of the coaching experience and coaching style and whatever we're talking about. So Luba, could you explain me, do coaches even need training for themselves?
Great question. You know, coaching is quite a new industry. It's only been around less than 30 years. And of course, professional standards are still being formed. At the moment, officially, you don't need a training or a government-approved training to become a coach or to call yourself a coach. However, professional standards evolve, and we can see that coach training does not only help coaches be more reputable, but also help them deliver more to their clients, make sure they have an ethical practice. They do not blend coaching with other modalities such as mentoring or training or consulting or anything else. And definitely, coach training is a transformational experience in itself. So before you get someone to do coaching with you, it's actually a very reasonable step to get certified.
What are the benefits of going through coaching training? For example, you do training as well. So could you explain how you make this training beneficial?
Great. Yes, I am a trainer at an ICF approved coach training program with a partner company. And just last night, our online cohort of 17 coaches finished their course and had their graduation. And they named huge mindset shift as one of the benefits of the course. So coach training to me is not only about developing some hard skills of coaching, because there are a lot of resources, a lot of self-study tools you can use to read about something, read about a skill, such as active listening, for example, and then practice and develop it independently. However, coach training involves a mindset shift. We really teach people how to think as a coach, how to be a coach, not only what to do as a coach. That's one thing.
Yeah, but good thing that it's very important not coach a problem, but coach a person. So how do you deal with it? How do you explain the beginners, for example, in coaching, or people who just doing coaching for years, but really sometimes do such mistakes?
That's a great question, Daria. You know, it all starts with a simple understanding and acceptance of the fact that a person is a lot greater than their problem. And although an individual might experience a really tough situation or a problem, they do have all their resources. They have the potential to overcome it just because, again, they are more than that issue or that problem. Early stage coaches are very tempted to deal with a problem rather than deal with a person, just because it's easier, because they can help someone develop an action plan, just because it feels like a tangible, hard result from coaching. However, and we discussed it with my colleagues during the International Coaching Week this month, that since the pandemic started, a lot of clients started to seek transformation from the coaching process, not only transactional coaching around solving problems.
And you just mentioned as ICF week, you took part in this event. So could you tell me what is transformation of coaching this year? So we understand that there are a lot of topics discussing about coaches discussing the topic how to be a coach in 2022, how to cope with millenniums, presentation of millenniums and so on. So what could you just come up with?
Great. Well, that International Coaching Week was organized by a coaching community in Guangzhou. A lot of my own alumni, a lot of my good friends and colleagues took part. And we spoke on a variety of topics. For me personally, I addressed one of my favorite topics, reinventing teamwork, because I like working with teams. I see that making a team positive and productive can really shift organizations, can really create a positive company culture, can make people happier in the workplace, and as a result, they can achieve more. But we talked about many different topics as well. I think now, especially since the pandemic started, we've all realized that coaching plays an even more important role than we have expected, and we all knew it plays, because coaching started to support people in times of a very big crisis, in times of huge shifts that are still ongoing. For example, I can see how coaching is becoming more global, how coaching is becoming more embracing of diversity, cultural diversity, neurodiversity, equity, inclusion, diversity. These are some of the main topics in coaching these days. And I also see how standards of profession evolve in recent years. So these are all great transformations that we are seeing.
If we compare, if you touched this topic about cultural, some differences, transformations. If you compare, so for example, coaching in China and in the USA, how we could, manage to understand what is the real difference, or the system is global and we couldn't differentiate, different countries and the coaching of these countries.
This is a great question. I do a lot of cross-cultural coaching, and I am a trainer in coach training cohorts that are highly culturally diverse. We could have up to 16 different cultural backgrounds in the same training room, and that's a very enriching experience. So I'd say, on the one hand, we have professional standards. For example, as an ICF member, an ICF trained coach, an ICF trained mentor, I adhere to ICF Code of Ethics and Professional Standards. ICF has branches in over 150 locations worldwide, which means that coaches who adopt the ICF model, follow the ICF model standards, core coaching competencies, they are all aligned in their coaching practices. We share the same code of ethics. We use the same core coaching competencies. So this makes it a very fluid, a very flexible system. So, for example, coaches in China can get employed with a company in the US that needs to provide some coaching to their staff, and they'll be using the same standards and coaching competencies, which is super convenient and makes the experience more aligned. On the other hand, there are definitely regional differences, and although we all use the same system, we all use the same competencies, I do feel that different in different geographies, different countries, coaching has experienced a different journey. I could put it this way, maybe a different evolution process. Here in China, we still need to do a lot of education about what coaching is and how it's different from mentoring or from teaching. And we had that conversation recently with a colleague who said that for Chinese mentality, for Chinese cultural preferences in terms of communication styles, a mentoring model, may feel a little bit more resonant. They resonate a little bit more with the mentoring style or consulting or training, just because in cultures with more strict, more high hierarchy, it's more common to have a mentor, to have a teacher, to have a leader whom you follow. However, in some egalitarian cultures, it's more common to have a partner, to have a mentor as your partner in your journey. So yeah, I guess we do share the same standards, but we do adopt our coaching styles depending on the cultural background of our clients, and we also try to respect our clients' identity in other ways, whatever it is.
But how to find your own style in coaching? Because there are too many types. How did you find yours?
That's a great question. A lot of my students are asking themselves this question: how do I find my authentic style? How do I find my perfect niche? How do I discover my superpowers in coaching? And I should say that coaching is a never-ending journey. It's a lifelong journey, really. So your coaching style will be evolving the more you grow and develop in coaching. When you are certified already, you keep going to coach mentorings, coaching supervisions, you do reflective practice, you learn more about yourself, and all your experiences shape your authentic coaching style. I think a good beginning could be working around your values, identifying your values, your strengths, and seeing what kind of people you like helping, what kind of problems you like helping with, right?
So, Luba, if we, for example, take people who are working in big corporations, or we just work with women, I don't know, relationship problems, how the style could be, could differ in this case?
I don't think that we can really give you a black and white answer. Okay. Because if you practice real, clean, pure coaching, you do free discovery, you use your curiosity, you explore, you don't ask leading questions, you create space for the client, and it applies to all contexts. They may be professional context or they may be personal context. So the skills you are using, the depth of the skills, your coaching mastery, it can be pretty much the same. On the other hand, when you work with corporate clients or organizations, you may need to help your clients get a big picture view on what's happening in the organization. You maybe more often will be using systemic coaching lens, helping them understand themselves and their relationship with stakeholders and how they affect their team and how their team affects them, and also working with organizations might require a coach using some specific assessment tools or some specific psychometrics or debriefs, right? There may be different more structural elements in this engagement, but pure coaching skills are the same. And any tool is just a tool if you use it with the right mindset and in a coaching way.
But what skills do you focus on developing, in your students, mentees, as a coaching trainer?
To me, coaching mindset is the most important thing, because once you get your mindset right, once you get the being of coaching right, the doing of coaching will follow. And I always want my students, my coaches in training, to be curious, to have beginner's mind, to be empathetic and accepting, to be non-directive and non-judgmental, to be mindful, to be responsive, to be able to shift perspectives, to be comfortable with not knowing, to be able to coach in ambiguity, and these are the characteristics of a coaching mindset. So these are the skills or attitudes, maybe, right? The perspectives that we aim to develop in the first place, and everything else will just accompany them.
Okay, and what are some common challenges for coaches in training? Could you share with us?
Absolutely. I guess one of the first challenges is that nasty voice in your head that's telling you, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to ask next. What shall I do now? What's a good question? Oh my God, we are running out of time, Coaches' self-talk is a very common problem. They're just not sure what's happening. And I think the answer may lie in partnering, in the quality of partnering with a client. New coaches need to get used to the idea, or to the ICF definition and understanding of coaching as a partnering process, which means that it's not the coach's process, it's our shared process with a client. And if you don't have to know the answers, right? And you are not alone in this session. You have your client as your partner, and you're figuring it out together. So I guess this is one of the most common challenges that just springs to mind immediately.
What are your own, learnings from coaching? What you have been learning since you started to be a coach, and what you could say just for now?
Wow, that's such a big question. I think I'm always amazed at what people are capable of, what solutions people are capable of, how creative and wonderful and resourceful people are when you just don't get in the way and you create a space for their exploration and discovery and free expression and reflection. I guess this is one of the hugest learnings. Another learning is how other helping professions are contributing to coaching mastery. So, for example, I have recently gotten certified as a mindfulness instructor. And as we were going through mindfulness instructor training, I noticed that a lot of mindfulness competencies and skills are directly related to ICF core coaching competencies and skills. And it became so natural to me to start to use mindfulness more in my own delivery of coach training programs to help coaches in training understand themselves at a deeper level, I guess, and bring that level of understanding and awareness into coaching sessions.
Thank you very much. So I appreciate very much this talk. So thank you.
Enjoy your day.
Yes, you too. Bye.